We start with a huge blow for Liverpool ahead of tomorrow's Merseyside derby. Jurgen Klopp has confirmed that defender Andy Robertson will need surgery on the shoulder injury that he picked up as he was playing for Scotland over the international break. Vinny O'Connor was at Klopp's press conference. He joins us live right now. Hi there, Vinny. Good afternoon to you. So, yes, clearly this is bad news for Klopp. Did he give any indication of how long Andy Robertson will be out for and, in fact, who he will replace him with?
There was no indication as to how long Andy Robertson is going to be out. It will be a prolonged period of time on the sidelines at least. And I think it was the news that everyone kind of feared when Andy Robertson picked up that injury in the first half against Spain. Of course, the fact is that people saw that injury and knew immediately, almost immediately, that he would be missing for the Merseyside derby. But of course, that news has got slightly worse because it had been hoped that he would be able to avoid an operation. But according to Jurgen Klopp today, it seems a sensible route to repair the damage to that right shoulder is surgery. So, as I say, he's facing a prolonged period on the sidelines now, and this is what Jurgen Klopp had to say when we spoke to him about that injury a short while ago.
There was a little chance that we could try without, but after talking to pretty much all experts, it looks like surgery will be the best thing for, especially in the long term, definitely, and that means he's out for a while. Don't know exactly how long, but this shoulder surgery is not an easy one. You can train, from my experience, you can train pretty quickly again, but not football specific because of you have to be careful, challenges and all these kind of things. So yeah, we'll be out for a while.
And in answer to your second question, David, the likelihood is that Kostas Tsimikas will deputise at left-back for Liverpool in that Merseyside derby in the absence of Andy Robertson, although Jurgen Klopp did say that he can play Joe Gomez there, Luke Chambers there at any time during Robertson's absence. On top of that, of course, Stefan Bajcetic and Thiago are still out. Ben Doak has a muscle injury, so he's not available for the weekend either. Potentially, though, Cody Gakpo could be available. He scored 3 in his last 4 for Liverpool. Of course, opened his Liverpool account last season in his first ever Merseyside derby as well. He has trained with the team once, so they'll make a late check on him tomorrow and see whether he's ready to come back into first-team action.
OK, let's get to the game itself then, Vinny. And it's always that old cliche, isn't it? When you come into a derby, form book goes out the window, yada, yada, yada. Liverpool will at least temporarily go top of the league if they win. The numbers suggest that is very likely. Klopp, though, didn't really have much time for those stats, did he?
Yeah, I think Evertonians will probably tell you as well that form book hasn't gone out the window because you look at Liverpool's recent dominance over Everton, and Jurgen Klopp was reminded of his record against Everton as well. It's 18 Merseyside derbies he's been in charge of Liverpool of. He's lost just 1. That was back in 2021 when Carlo Ancelotti was in charge of Everton, and Jurgen Klopp has won 10 in that time as well. But he didn't like being reminded of his record against Everton. He said it made him feel uncomfortable somewhat. But at the same time, while he's got that experience in Merseyside derbies, it's feasible tomorrow, in the absence of Curtis Jones, who's suspended, that Liverpool's entire midfield might not have any Merseyside derby experience because the likes of McAllister, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch and Endo, it will be their first experience of what a Merseyside derby is all about. But for Jurgen Klopp, that's not necessarily a problem as a whole group, the management, the players, they know the occasion, they know the pressures that come with it as well. So Liverpool are not thinking about their recent record over Everton. They're just making sure that they are really, really ready to face a side that Jurgen Klopp says have undoubted quality.
I can't remember one moment when I said, oh, weekend is derby, and then enjoyed that thought. That, oh, it's coming up. It's just not happening. It's just for us. Yeah, there's a lot of intensity, and even before the first ball is kicked, and that's what you have to make sure that you channel that in the right areas, that you really, with all the extra motivation from outside, you make sure you really play the way you want to play, because that makes you, or gives you a chance to win a football game. If you want to play just a game the other team is asking for it, and it's like, okay, you always react. So we have to push through our own thing. But in moments, they definitely deserve the respect because they do really well.
Yeah, I mean, Liverpool 4th right now and Everton down in 15th ahead of this fixture. And the other thing to mention here, Vinny, is that Liverpool had players spread far and wide over this last international break. Uruguay, Japan, and in fact, most points in between. How have the club been dealing with that?
Well, that's it. Endo, as you say, was in Japan. Alisson and Nunes, last bit of action during this international break was over in Uruguay. McAllister and Diaz as well. Colombia were in Ecuador on Wednesday, while Argentina were in Peru, of course. But Klopp said that what they've been able to do this time is charter better flights. So the players were picked up. They didn't have to take any commercial flights to get back. They've been working in cooperation with other clubs as well, sharing the cost. And they've had a bit of practice in this, so this has worked out pretty well this time as well. So it seems that the players who've been away to the far reaches have been better rested. They've come back in better condition than they might have been, shall we say. So travel-wise, it certainly appears to have worked out well for Liverpool, and it shouldn't affect the players too badly going into this Merseyside derby.
All right, then, we will leave it there for the moment. Vinny, thank you very much indeed.